What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Minute Masters here, and today I'm going to show you how to fill holes in the sheet metal on your truck. So here's what I'm referring to. It looks like what they had was a mirror on this side, the I'd say ranch style or West Coast styles are sometimes called, and it bolted here and they removed it. Now there's two holes. Now there's a couple different ways you can go about this. One is you could epoxy a piece of metal on the back side of this and you could Bondo and fill, or you're going to do the way that I'm going to show you, which is we're actually going to weld and fill these holes. That way we can have just nice new metal once again. So to get started, you're going to remove the inside door panel of your truck, and I'll explain as I go along why you want to do that. So to do that, you're going to pop off your window crank, and that's a matter of prying away at this, and the outside cover pops off, and there's a Torx screw in there. There's a screw right here, and there is one right here. Everything else is just the little pop clips, so then you'll pop it off, you'll lift up, and it should come right off. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you back. So here we are, guys. We're looking at the back side of the door, and like I said, you normally don't have to do this in order to weld something on the outside, but the reason I want to do it is because I want to use this. This is a piece of copper on the end of this little lever here, and what it's going to do is it's going to hold it to the back side of the hole, and I'll just kind of demonstrate like that. And what it allows me to do is, actually, you know what, I'll just show you. So there we go, it's covering the back side of the hole. And what it's going to allow me to do is weld and not have the wire just dive right through the hole and burn something on the other side. And it can also allow the weld to puddle there, which can also fill the hole a lot better. So that's why I want to get to the back side of the door. Now before that, we have a few things you need to take care of. One, you'll notice, is the sheet metal is kind of bent out this way, and I want to flush it so that when we weld and eventually we have to sand it flat, I don't have, like, you know, essentially an outward divot, okay? So I actually want to have it tapped in a little bit more. So I have a hammer and dolly here. So we're going to put this along the back side, and we're going to tap it from the other side ever so slightly to try to get that hump out. Matter of fact, you can see it just a little bit more there. So I'm going to do that, and then the next step is to clean just this little area here of the paint so that we have a nice welding surface, and then I'll bring you back. All right, guys, so I hammered the dents in with the hammer and dolly there. So you can actually see now, no bump out. If anything, there's just a slight indentation, which is perfect when it comes time to do some light filler and paint. So then I took a honeycomb paint stripping wheel and I stripped away the paint. So now we have a great surface to weld from. So from here on out, you just try to find a place to hook up your ground clamps. I have a section on the other side that I'm going to test in a second. And I've got the whole little setup here with the Eastwood MiG 175. And I'm going to go for this. So like I said, the general gist is I'm going to try to touch the metal around the hole and slowly fill in from the other sides. And hopefully that will do the trick. So let's get started. So here we are, guys. Both holes are filled and looking very nice. Couple things. So number one, you probably want to know where I hooked up the ground clamp for the welder. And I actually hooked it up to the window crank, and it worked really well. So just in case you're having a hard time, that's a great spot to hook your ground clamp. Number two, sheet metal welding is not easy, okay? And it's not because of, you know, bonding and things like normal welding. It's because you blow holes through it, and if you overheat the metal, it will distort the metal. So if that happens to you, don't be discouraged. It can happen to anybody when you're first starting out. Otherwise, the big trick was just little bits of weld, let it cool, and you'll eventually get this result, which is right now perfect for Bondo or whatever filler you use, and some paint, and no one will ever have to know there were holes in the door. Also, for further questions, this is an Eastwood product. That's Eastwood right here, along with the welder. And so if you really think you need this to do this job, which I do recommend having it, that's it right here. Otherwise, guys, I hope if you own a welder and you like to give this a shot, I hope you really do, because as you can see, it's a really simple process. I've been out here less than an hour, have both holes filled, and which is great because the winter's coming around and I do not want salt and other nastiness getting in there and rotting that out. So that's all for me, guys. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minute Masters. Thanks for watching.